Hey, what's going on everybody? EnteR ChazmaN here, and I'm bringing you another video game pickups video, this time for the month of June. Now June for me was a very interesting month in terms of pickups, and I wasn't able to get a lot of one console's games in particular. Instead, I happened to pick up a pretty diverse bunch of games, all from different generations. So within this month's pickups will definitely be some crowd pleasers and a whole lot of head scratchers. Anywho, there's my teaser, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my video game pickups from the month of June. To start things off, new to the collection is a copy of Strider for the original NES. Strider is a side-scrolling Metroidvania that was developed and published by Capcom, and I stumbled across this cart at a flea market and picked it up for about $4, and it's retailing for around $10 right now. Now I know for my channel I haven't streamed or reviewed any sort of really old or retro video games at all, and there's a very good chance in the near future if I do decide to do that with an NES game, Strider may be one that I very well choose. Next up, I picked up a game called Project Eden for the PlayStation 2. It appears to be a first-person shooter that was developed by Core Design and published by Eidos Interactive. Now I did pick this game up off a friend of mine who happened to be selling a handful of games, and he got it to me for about $1, and it's retailing for around $7 right now. In total honesty, I don't think with this game I'm going to make the time to play it anytime soon, but if this is a game any of you out there think you might want to see a review or just a stream done on, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Next up, I picked up a game with an odd looking cover called Robin Hood Defender of the Crown for the PlayStation 2. It's some sort of odd turn-based strategy game that was developed by Cinemaware and published by Capcom. I procured this copy from a flea market for about $4, and it only retails for about $6. Additionally, similarly to the previous Project Eden, this is the kind of game I don't think I'm going to try and make time for anytime soon, but if it's a game you guys think you might want, feel free to let me know, and maybe that'll change, who knows. I added to my collection the game Viking Battle for Asgard for the Xbox 360. It's a hack and slash that was developed by Creative Assembly and published by Sega. I acquired this game from a flea market for about $5 and it's retailing for around $9. Now this is a game that I am not totally unfamiliar with. I did play this game way back when people actually used to go to Blockbusters when they were around and rent them for a few days and beat them in like a weekend, which is what I did. My memories of this title are not entirely positive from what I remember, so I'm not quite sure if it's a game I'll ever revisit, but if it's one that you might want that done for, let me know, and maybe down the line we'll do a stream or some sort of review on, possibly. Next up, I picked up a copy of Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection for the Xbox 360. It's a compilation title made up of Genesis games, and was developed by Backbone Studios and published by Sega. I picked it up off a friend of mine for about $3 and it's retailing for around $9 right now. This most definitely for me is not a title that I plan on playing anytime soon, but if it's one you guys think you might want sometime down the line, please let me know, and I will most definitely consider it. I very excitedly added a copy of NHL Hitz 2003 to the collection. For the Xbox, this sports title was developed by Black Box Games and published by Midway. I picked it up at a flea market for around $4 and it's retailing for about $12. For me, NHL Hitz 2003 is one of my absolute favorite sports games. I used to play it a ton on the GameCube way back in the days, so needless to say I'm very excited to finally add a copy, and you can most definitely expect a video at some point in the future of me covering this game somehow. Next up, I added a copy of Zone of the Enders: The Second Runner Mars for the PS4. It's a sort of fighting action game that was developed and published by Konami. A buddy of mine actually picked up a couple of copies of this from a nearby Five Below for about $5 each, and right now the game's retailing for about $10. In full transparency, I've never actually played a Zone of the Enders game, and honestly, I still do not even have a PlayStation 4, so I'm not quite sure whenever I might be able to get to play this game. I'm hoping at some point soon I'll finally go out and get a PS4, because I'm not sure if I'm going to get a PS5 in the near future. Maybe next year that might be something I'll try for, but we'll see. Added to the collection was Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped for the PlayStation 1. It's a platformer that was developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony. I picked this game up at a flea market for $10 and it's retailing for about $16. $10 was a bit high for me, but I don't know, it was just something I was missing and I felt like buying something at the flea market, so that's why I spent $10, which normally is a bit high for me. In a strange way, as of late, I've had a hankering to play a Crash Bandicoot game for some reason. So I do think I'm going to play one at some point this year. I'm thinking maybe just playing the first one and maybe trying to go back through all of them, but who knows, so I definitely think at some point you can expect me to play this one. Next up, I picked up a copy of Pokemon Ultra Sun for the 3DS. This, of course, is an RPG that was developed by Game Freak and published by Nintendo. I picked this copy up off of a friend of mine for $5 and it's retailing right now for about $31. For me, I'm not really a huge fan of a lot of the modern Pokemon video games. I'm more of a fan of the older stuff. But if you guys would like reviews or some sort of streaming done on any of the games at all, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Another new game added to the collection is Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike for the Nintendo GameCube. This is an action game that was developed by Factor 5 and published by LucasArts. I picked up this game from a friend as well for about $5 and it's retailing for around $20. I have yet to play any of the Rogue Squadron games for the GameCube, so these are games that I most definitely very much anticipate playing at some point down the line in review or streaming fashion. I added a copy of the Wonderful 101 Remastered for the Nintendo Switch to my collection. This is a hack and slash that was developed by Platinum Games and published by Nintendo. A friend of mine picked up a copy for me for about $5 and it's retailing right now for about $17. My backlog for Switch games that I'd like to stream and review is a bit backed up right now, but if this is one you would definitely like to see, please let me know, and perhaps I'm thinking maybe more next year. I might be open to playing a game like this. Brand new to my collection is the game Elebits for the Nintendo Wii. It is an action first-person shooter that was developed and published by Konami. I picked this game up off of a buddy of mine for $1 and it's retailing for about $6 right now. After watching some gameplay of this kind of sort of on-rail shooter, my interest is a bit piqued on it, so I do think at some point this is a game I would like to try out. We'll see, maybe this year if I can squeeze it in somewhere, maybe like a short little playthrough seems like it might be kind of fun. New to my video game collection is the game Wario Land Shake It for the Nintendo Wii. It's a platformer that was developed by Gaemz and published by Nintendo. I procured this game off of a friend of mine for about $5 and it's retailing for around $16 at the moment. After watching a few gameplay videos as long as a few trailers for this game, I most definitely am interested in possibly trying it out at some point. I really like its art style and it very much reminds me of maybe some early Rayman games, which I'm a huge fan of. So most definitely dub me curious on this title. And the last game in June added to my collection is the game Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Nintendo Wii U. This is an interesting looking puzzle game that was developed and published by Nintendo. I acquired this game through a friend of mine for about $5 and it's retailing for around $13 at the moment. As for a video covering this game, I do think at some point you can expect a stream or review done on the game. But in all honesty, there is a Switch version that was released, and I think maybe when I do decide to cover it, I'll probably wait until I get the Switch version because why not? It'll look better. And oh, did I say that was it for my video game pickups for June? Well, two final items that I was able to acquire was one, I picked up a collectible Pip-Boy from the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition. It's kind of neat and something that is just going to sit on my shelf and just kind of pretty up the room. And finally, something I already talked about in a previous video, but I did land, finally, an Xbox Series X. If you want to hear about how I acquired it, check out the video link above, titled The Top 10 Xbox Game Pass Games I'm Excited For that I did previously. And that wraps up my video game pickups for the month of June. What did you guys think of my pickups? Did you like, love, or hate any of them? I'd absolutely love your feedback. And I'd also love to know what pickups you guys might have made lately and what are you looking for? If you guys could do me a favor, I'm actually thinking about doing some videos, actually touching deeper on some games within my collection and kind of talking about collection milestones I've hit. If that's something you guys think you would like to see, please let me know. And with that, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you. Please be safe. And I, of course, cannot wait to deliver you guys more content on the next video and or stream. So once again, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next EnteR ChazmaN. Bye, guys. Hey now, I see you made it through the video and liked or even possibly loved it. Well, if you want to see any more additional content or you'd like to get into contact with me, consider checking out some of my social medias right here. And if you'd like to go above and beyond and want to support my channel monetarily, here is also a couple places where you can do so. And if nothing else, simply liking, sharing, and subscribing would make me the happiest ChazmaN on the planet.